I was the only black person that worked there for a very long time. And then finally another black person did come, but once they came, they gave me the boot.
This person stops me in the middle of this report that I'm trying to give and says, "Looking mighty woolly today." So I was like, okay. And she's like, no, woolly, you know, usually your hair looks really sleek.
There were a lot of racist white people in management who didn't really know what to make of me.
I am true Angelino, transgender male, female to male, living in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
My name is Ryan. My full name, my whole government. Okay, I'll give it all. Ryan Mackenzie Holmes. I was born in Washington, D.C., raised in Maryland, and spent my adult life here in Brooklyn.
My name is Monique McWilliams, and I'm originally from Richmond, Virginia, but now I live in Brooklyn, New York. Been here since like 2002.
My name, or what I like to be called. I love it when you call me Big Papa.
I went to St. Francis College in Brooklyn Heights. I got my degree in mass communications with a concentration in television and film production.
My undergraduate degree was in marketing from George Mason University, and I just finished my MBA at Baruch College in entrepreneurship.
I went to Howard University wait, we do like that? Yeah, we do that. I went to Howard University for PR under the journalism program. I went there for public relations.
What I do? Oh man, so many things I do. Professionally, you can say I'm a social worker. I'm also a computer specialist, as they say. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
After I left the John H. Johnson School of Communications at Howard University, I got offered a job, a full-time job. They wanted me really badly at a big a company in radio ad sales. And I turned that down for an internship in New York at a bigger company, but it was just the fact that it was something in New York that it was the reason why I took it over the job, to just take a chance.
It's been a wild ride. I started out doing an internship with the Women's Sports Foundation. And then from there, I worked at a sports and rec center. And then from there, I went into a management job at a place I won't name, but was sort of fucked with too much and pushed out. And then I sort of decided from that moment on that I was not gonna work for anyone.
Initially started during school interning for Sesame Workshop, and then shortly thereafter I started with Spike Lee working on the film Miracle at St. Anna. I did a lot of different things. I worked so many different behind the scenes jobs for various films. I did script supervision, editing, as always, but that's kind of tedious, so I started getting more into styling work with different films, and I did a lot of assistant styling in just various projects.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting all pissed thinking about it. It was a really, really tense, negative energy environment in general. And there were a lot of racist white people in management who didn't really know what to make of me, especially being masculine identified. I even remember one time my director was like, it'd be nice if you wore a blouse every once in a while. And I was like, what the fuck is a blouse? What is she saying what I think she's saying? So I sort of constantly battled just dealing with narrow-minded people. And then it got to the point where they were working me really absurd hours. I was hearing crazy shit like that all the time. And I was just fuck it. Took a part-time job started like consulting a little bit, and then I decided to go back to school and figure out how to do this by myself.
At my last job, this is exactly why I started my store. I started my store because I was working at a vintage clothing boutique, which shall remain nameless. They're basically nothing to me. But yes, I worked there for a while, and I was the only Black person that worked there for a very long time. And then finally another Black person did come, but once they came, they gave me the boot, which is humorous because there was no reason for that. I did everything right at that job, but somehow they stole my ideas. And you're giving them your ideas, but they're still just paying you $10 an hour. Like, let's be serious. I can't give away this for $10 an hour.
I was living in North Carolina, and I started to present a lot more masculine, and you know, I was getting some jokes about it at the workplace. So, you know, I worked there for a year, but about halfway through, it was kind of like, you know, what should we call you now? Or it would be, you know, oh, we need to order you a different size work pants or something, you know what I mean? Because those are looking too loose. You know, when I first got the job, you know, they were tight fitting. You know, I was identifying as a female, woman, very feminine. Not very feminine, but just like a lot more feminine, just like tomboyish, which I always was, you know, from like as long as I can remember. But, you know, coworkers definitely started to talk, and there was already speculation that I was like a lesbian.
My experience there as an intern was great. I mean, as far as the mentor that I had, he was newer there, but seasoned, and I had a good time and fun time as an intern. But once I got hired as a full-time employee, I was in a different part of the company and in a different department, and it was a really rough experience for me. I felt like the stereotypes of what hazing are, but in the workplace. You know, they would ask me a question about where something was that I just had, but because of what it was going through, you know, I had to think and look at stuff and, you know, ask me to go get it. And then when I come back right back to answer you when you ask me to, you yell at me in front of everybody. It was just utter disrespect. This person stops me in the middle of this report that I'm trying to give and says, "Looking mighty woolly today." And I said, what? I didn't even say anything. I just actually gave her like, what the fuck? You know, one person I actually was gaily sexual harassed. I didn't say anything about it. It was just some like saying something smart like, "Oh, you got a booty," or like, no. You know what I mean? People thinking it's okay to say things to me, or every time I walk down the hallway, the white or Asian guy say, what up? Or what's poppin'? I had a man with glasses in a suit walk up to me and say, "What up, though?" I was just like, and this was my experience, and it was so hard. It was so hard because, like, why are they treating me like this? With all these experiences that I had, of course, you know, I wound up ultimately going to HR. I went to her. Within that week, she spoke to my immediate superiors, which was my supervisor, person above her, and she nothing really changed. I lost my job.
The place that I'm consulting for now, I had an interview for, and it's a bank, and I was like, I don't think I can like walk in with anything I own. So my mother gave me a suit like 2 Christmases ago. I hope she never watches this. That I hated, but I was like, this is the only way I'm gonna get this job if I wear this awful women's suit from Marshall's. So I wore it and I got the job. And I don't know if that's like, I don't know. But now I wear whatever the fuck I want, so, because they've hired me. And I don't know if I would have worn something different if it would have went differently, but when you need a fucking job, you have to do that sometimes.
It's hard being me.
Why is it hard being you?
It's hard because I don't know. I'm in the middle of a big transition right now. You know, prior to having a name change, you know, if I'm presenting like a feminine woman, and I go into a job interview, and you know, they see this man come up, you know, and they're like, whoa, you know, I'm judged, you know, before I even open my mouth. You know, it's like, oh, I expected, you know, Angelina to walk in, and then you got this person that looks like, you know, Trevor or something.
When we see Black women stereotyped on television and we project it onto people in the streets, it's also projected onto ourselves, and I feel it projected onto me. I'm not like any of the women that I see on TV. I never see anybody like me, as a matter of fact. But it's humorous that I feel like no matter where I go, job-wise or employment-wise, seeking employment, it's always, I don't know, you're a young Black woman, which equals not experienced enough. Even though your resume says experience, there's nothing about me that speaks I have experience. Maybe for this person that is very, I don't want to say it, but this white person who is the ringmaster, who holds all the strings and says what happens and what doesn't happen, the decision makers, those folks, I guess they don't see me as, I don't know, experienced or as an equal, definitely. It's very, very annoying.
The job market sucks, and before that, it sucked. If you were not like fitting in some kind of norm or what people are used to seeing, and everybody knows that shit, discrimination happens, and people essentially like judge you by like what they see, without knowing like what kind of depth that you have or where you've been or what your walk is or what you know. So, I don't know, that shit fucking sucks, but being able to create around all that is amazing.
I'm working on actually writing a book, you know, autobiography, maybe a memoir, as you can say, about my life, you know, coming to find out who I was, self-discovery, you know, how did I know that I was transgender? And I think it'll be interesting for people to kind of read that, but also for me to let out of a lot of emotions that and ways that I want to express things, and I can only do that in writing.
Essentially, I want to work for myself, which I've said, and also like work for my people, but in a way that like, you know, I'm having a good time. So my idea is to consult. I've already sort of like jumped out there, picked up a few clients or whatever, but just like working with people on strategy, like developing their ideas, having a presence online, because I'm a total nerd and I may as well get paid because I know what I'm talking about.
In the last few months, I really have been openly, I've been in the path of like actually like understanding myself more and actually being able to convey like my ideas and put them into something tangible, creative and tangible. And then Rugged Ambition is it's my entertainment consulting company, PR, marketing and branding, and it's just a brand in itself.
Check out my store. It's pretty good. I have really unique things, and it's not manufactured in some crazy foreign place for pennies on the dollar. It's not fair. Check out my store.
up.